So I don't think I've done a sound design video since 2021, but today we're gonna kick back. We're gonna sound design an entire scene together. Scene's gonna be the intro from a short doc film called She Looks So Free that I posted a couple months ago. And we're gonna go through step by step, and at the end of this video, this is what we're gonna have done.
It's burning down.
Trick riding is one of the most dangerous sports in horseback riding there is. You are doing with the seemingly impossible off your horse. I'm hanging underneath them, I'm by their feet, one wrong move and it could be game over. A little scary, but I think it's cool.
This video is gonna be sponsored by MusicBed. So not only is the music from MusicBed, but the sound effects are as well. MusicBed finally has sounds, is what they're calling it, and something that I'm super excited about. I've had early access for a while now, and sounds are great. Been using it on a bunch of projects, and I'm really loving what they have. It's the same level of curation that they do for their music with their sound effects. Honestly, this is something that I've been waiting for a really long time. It's nice that I can just have one subscription and don't have to jump to other platforms to get my sound effects now. If you're digging the music and the sound effects that I'm using in this video, and you want to enjoy a library of highly curated music and sound effects for yourself, you can make the switch to MusicBed and start with a free 14-day trial with my affiliate link in my description. And your work's it's gonna show in your work. It's gonna be much better. So I'm in Premiere Pro. This is where I do all my editing. Doesn't really matter what software you're using. The process that I use is gonna be applicable to any software. It doesn't really matter. As you can see, I stripped out all the sound effects elements, and all we're left with is the music and the dialogue. So what I'm working with now is a picture locked image. I'm not gonna be changing the image. I'm not gonna be changing the dialogue. I'll be doing some mixing to the dialogue, but I'm not gonna be doing any editing to the dialogue itself. And also in my editing, my music is typically locked. Again, I'll be playing with the mixing and whatnot with my music, but I'm not gonna be editing my music at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock that. And I like to put my music really down low. I have it on line 19 and 20. So I like to leave a ton of room in the middle for my sound effects, because there's gonna be different layers of sound effects. And those layers are gonna be ambience, it's gonna be Foley, it's gonna be transitional whooshes and risers. And I really like to layer those sounds, so I like to make sure I have a ton of real estate to just kind of throw things in, try different things out. So the first thing that I like to do before I start grabbing sound effects is I like to play through my scene, and I like to just jot down little notes about things that I'm noticing, like what is it that I want to make sure that I'm pulling when I go into MusicBed to grab my sound effects. So I'm just gonna play through it real quick, and I'll probably talk over top of it, just write down a quick couple of things.
It's burning down.
So
trick riding is one of the most dangerous sports in horseback riding there is.
Wind.
You are doing with the seemingly impossible off your horse. I'm hanging underneath them, I'm by their feet, one wrong move and it could be game over.
Some deep droning ambience maybe.
A little scary, but I think it's cool.
And we go into our second track. And that's gonna be the length of the scene that we are sound designing. So got a couple of things here right off the bat. Let me add some hits. I saw some good moments for hits there. So I don't know if you can see, but here's my terrible handwriting, my notes. So something that you also might have noticed when listening was that the music was doing a lot with the sound as well. It was going up and down, it was fading. It had a lot of reverb to it in moments. I like to treat my music kind of like an element of sound design.
It's burning down.
So not only does the music level lower slightly, it sounds like the music is kind of reverbing, and it sounds like it's almost like coming from a car passing by outside. And that's to kind of take a little bit of the focus off the background track and give room for the dialogue to kind of have its moment, because dialogue is always going to be most important when you're doing your sound design. And a little trick that I did there is I just spliced the clip in two, and on this middle track I threw on some studio reverb and some parametric equalizer with this old time radio effect. I really like this song. I found it on the vintage side of MusicBed. Just feels so good. Vibes so well with this film. Cool, so let's actually start sound designing. I got my list here that I jotted down. So what we're gonna do is come in the music bed, I'm gonna come over to sounds, and I'm gonna start just grabbing a bunch of stuff. So the first thing here, we have horse galloping in dirt. I'm just gonna type in a little prompt there. Let's see what we got. This one sounds good. I'm kind of looking for something that has a little more bass to it. That one's cool. Ooh. I'm liking that one. So I'm gonna grab this one, and on my desktop, I have sound effects for Bella here. I like to make some folders to keep sound effects a little bit organized so that they're not just all clumped into the same folder and it's impossible to find anything. So the horse galloping, that's gonna be some foley. So I'm gonna save that there. Oh yeah, so I'm just gonna come through here. I'm just gonna grab a couple things because I like to have different frequencies of sound effects so that I can layer them. I kind of like how deep this one is. Oh yeah, that feels good. Next thing I want to grab is some ambient noises like a wind gusts. Let's try that. Kind of like this one. I like how it's got kind of like a low droning sound to it. Let's pull that in. Let's drop that into ambience. I don't know what this is, but sometimes you just stumble upon sound effects, and I really like the hit on this one. Sounds like a very high production sound element, so maybe there's something in there that I could use. I'm actually gonna grab that and put it in my hits folder. I would sit here for hours and go through every single sound. I love doing this. It's kind of like when you hear sound, you just kind of know, you know? Like that one was pretty good. Let's try just straight up whooshes. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Whew. Oh yeah, that one's nice. Is that a whoosh or a hit? It's kind of like a whoosh bang. Slow motion for those moments where it kind of speed ramps in the slow motion. See what happens when you type it in. Ooh, that's nice. A little sub downer. Actually, I'm gonna type in sub downer. It should be like a deep is what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, that's a cool one. Ooh, little low frequency bass dive with distortion. Yes, please. Let's get a couple of risers in here. I probably won't use it, but I'll grab it just in case. No, too much. I can work with that. I can figure something out with that thing. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but I like it. Let me just grab some hits, some deep hits. That was kind of cool. I think that's good. I think we got a good batch there that we can get started. So I'm just gonna come in here. I'm gonna drop all of our sound effects that we just grabbed into here. Boom, now we have a couple of neat folders. I mean, I know there's ways to do it where you could do ambience straight through, you do Foley straight through and whatnot, but the way I like to do it, I like to just go clip by clip. So that's what we're gonna do here. So with every clip, I'm gonna do all the different layers right away.
It's burning.
So that first clip, I know it's kind of like rising into this flash transition. So I want a bit of a riser there. So I'm gonna come into risers. see what I pulled. Listened to a bunch of stuff. That's cool. A little too intense, a little too intense. Oh yeah, that windy one's gonna be nice because we're transitioning to a kind of windy scene. So I'm gonna take my first sound and I get it to a point where I can hear something.
It's burning.
Oh yeah, that's doing something.
Burning.
Oh yeah, I might even just make that a little more intense. I might even put a little marker here, pull it up, have it gain, and get just real hot on the cut. Pull it back.
It's burning down.
Oh yeah, that felt nice.
It's burning down.
I'm also gonna, I feel like it needs a little punch, a little hit. Kind of like when her foot hits the horn of the saddle, it needs like a little poof. So let's go into where I got hits here. No. Too intense. Not intense enough. I kind of like this first one. Let's try it. So right on the cut there. This is a little soon. So I'm gonna make sure the hit lines up with the transition. Ooh, yeah.
It's burning down.
Nice. I might actually layer it with a higher frequency noise as well. Let's try this. It might kind of coincide with that flash transition. Woo! Y'all hearing that? So next clip that we go into is Bella riding her horse. You know, you're gonna hear a lot of loud galloping from the horse. You're gonna hear a lot of wind blowing past you. And it's important to keep in mind that
Trick riding is one of the
there's
most
dialogue here. I'm just gonna mute the dialogue for the sake of the sound design here. We can always mix the sound design to be lower if it's taking over the dialogue a little bit too much. So first thing I wanna do, let's grab a little bit of ambience, a little bit of wind. This isn't calm wind. Let's try. Let's throw this heavy thunderstorm wind in here. It's a little quiet, so I might boost it a bit. This is a long clip, so we're gonna use pretty much all of this. I'm not really getting much out of the beginning of that, so I'm just gonna get rid of it.
Burning down.
Oh yeah.
Burning down.
That's giving us a nice little layer underneath. Let's grab some of this higher frequency winds and layer that on top. Just boost that a bit. And I'm gonna grab some of this eerie wind gusts. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna grab some of that horse galloping sounds. Nice. So I'm gonna grab this, just drop it in, see what it's looking like right away. So it's not long enough, so what I'm gonna do is actually duplicate the clip and just pull it over. Grab like more of the middle section here. And just gonna kind of combine these guys. And I think the horse is moving so fast, it, you know, doesn't really, it's hard to tell whether the galloping noises are exactly timed up with the horse or not. I think people watching this aren't paying attention so closely to how connected that sound is with the feet. I think if you just kind of throw them in this instance, it's gonna work. So that's nice. So I'm gonna take this louder part and kind of drop it in here so that it kind of like keeps, I'm gonna duplicate this clip a couple times. Because what I was noticing is that it felt like it was getting quieter, and I wanted to kind of keep that same level. So let's try that instead. Nice. And something that I like to do too is when the clip is coming to an end, I kind of like to boost ambience, boost stuff so that it comes to a climax and then drops when the next clip comes in. So we're gonna do that again here, especially since this clip is so chaotic. So I might do that with the horse galloping. So here is the transition point. I'm gonna drop a little pen dot there, pull that down, and just kind of ramp this guy up. Oh, clipping a little bit, so I'm gonna bring that down a little too loud. And I'm gonna draw this out. Nice. I'm gonna do the same thing with the ambience here. Nice. That kind of leaves it so I can use the same kind of wind ambience in this next clip since it's clearly like a windy thing. Let's start from the beginning.
Burning down.
Galloping's a little too quiet for me at the beginning. So I'm actually just gonna keep using this guy and just replacing it over and over again. And then throwing some transitions between clips on it. There we go. I might actually add a little whoosh here to complement the scene change. What do we got here in whooshes? I like this just gentle, airy whoosh. Doesn't have to be anything too over the top. Just something to give us a little smoother transition. Nice. So this next clip, it's already got a little bit of ambience going here. I might boost the level of that ambience. So see how here she does that little head turn? I kind of want that to be like a impactful moment, almost like she like is staring at the camera. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna throw in a riser to kind of match it to where she looks at you. Let's see what we got here. Let's try this one where it sounded like the guy was like screaming from the depths of hell. That was cool. So we're hearing some clipping here, so I'm just gonna pull this down. That's cool. I'm gonna layer it with another escalating riser. I'm gonna use this windy rumble again. Ooh. And what I'm gonna do, again, like I've been doing, is just kind of tail off this riser, get a little boost at the end. This is where, like I mentioned, that speed ramp kind of goes into slow motion. So here she's going into her trick and boom, it slows down there. So in that moment, I want to grab one of those slow motion bass dives. That one's good. I like this one better. It gives us a little more room. And I'm gonna drop that in right where it slows down. Woo! It's nice because it kind of matches up with this lady crossing here. So something that I feel like I'm missing here is when we're in this rodeo scene, I feel like I need like some crowd ambience. So I'm gonna come back into music bed. I'm gonna type in crowd cheering. Let's see what we get. That's kind of cool. That's a good crowd for a rodeo, I believe. Nice. I'm just gonna layer a couple of these too to make it sound like, you know, the crowd is in different areas. If you haven't noticed yet, a big theme to sound designing is just throwing stuff in, lots of layers, just really filling different frequencies. Not so much making stuff louder, but filling different gaps in the frequency spectrum, which kind of makes it feel more full of sound, like the room is full. I'm just gonna grab a couple of these, have it bleed with a little J cut. It's a little quiet, so I'm gonna give it a little boost. I'm gonna have it bleed in. It's still not loud enough. This is a quiet crowd. We're getting there. Something I might do here too is when we hit that moment, I might even just slow down the sound of the crowd. Not dramatically, but enough where you can feel it and it sounds like more slow motion. Nice. So I'm just gonna add a couple more crowd sounds. I'm gonna do the same thing, kind of give it the same length. Bleed it in. Nice. And do the same thing with the slow motion here. Hopefully that'll pay off nicely. So something that's like kind of irking me about the sound, it feels like too production-y. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of dampen it a bit. And how I do that is I like to come into my effects. I like to go to Studio Reverb. So I'm gonna come into my Studio Reverb and I'm gonna throw on a Great Hall effect. And that's just gonna kind of make it feel like it's like reverbing and a little bit more ambient. And do the same thing for the end of it. So that's nice. I'm not liking the end of this clip too much, so I'm just gonna get rid of it and just kind of fade that out. Oh yeah, that's much nicer. And right here in this transition, I'm feeling like I do a lot of sounds with my mouth as I'm doing this. So I'm gonna come in my whooshes. I feel like I made a whoosh sound. I feel like it should be a little more dramatic. Oh yeah, that feels good. Especially because you could see your hair flapping, kind of had that oscillation to it. Woof! Woof! That feels nice. I just need a little bit more run up into it, so I might add a different whoosh here. Oh yeah, let's just throw this in there and see what happens. Feeling crazy with this metallic whoosh sound here. Woof! I like that. It works in tandem with that other effect really nicely. It's a little loud, so I'm gonna give it a little bit of chill. Woof! I might give it another little sub. Another little bass dive. What's this one? Let's try it. What do we have to lose? Just our integrity. All right. I kind of want it more in this, like, where the world is turning upside down. So. Alright, so that's just, the levels are just way too high, so I'm just gonna take some chill on that. Still, levels are through the roof here. So I'm not overly concerned with the clipping audio here that you're seeing on the right now, because at the end I'm gonna go back and mix everything. Make sure that if there's any audio, it's taking dominance. I'm just gonna chill with this a little bit. I think this guy's really just too loud still. There we go. Need another whoosh sound for when she's turning her head. I kind of was really liking that. Where is that? I think it was in Risers, that windy rumble. This guy's nice. And just cutting it off, it's got that nice bit of windy riser. And if you just make that louder, it's gonna work. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a build and just have it really build for splitting this clip here. Oh, that's nice. So that's still pretty, like, in terms of frequency, pretty low. So I'm gonna find a whoosh transition that's a little bit on the higher frequency side to layer with that. Nice. I'm liking that. Let's see what we've got. Let's see what we're working with since we started.
It's burning down.
You know what? I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna grab that windy riser that I just threw in there. Where is it? I'm gonna add that to this long clip of her running and give this a really good run up. I feel like it's just lacking a little bit. And I'm gonna make sure it peaks at the end of this clip. I'm actually gonna really give this some space.
It's burning down.
Nice. Yeah, that's feeling good. All right, so we're almost there. We're almost at the end of this run up here. I feel like I need like that camera flash again. Let's try something here. Let's throw this like. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, that was nice. Adding that little camera flash charge. But I feel like I need a hit now. Let's use the camera hit. I don't know if this is too weak, but we'll try it. I might give this a little boost here. I might just take some of that high frequency out of it by just slowing it down a touch. Yeah, I might just boost the level. Nice. Oh yeah. So here we're getting to a point where we need a little bit of crowd again. This one's cool. Let's toss it in. Enough talking about it, you know? I'm a doer, not a talker. So I'm actually gonna start it. Do a couple different things here. Now I'm looking at this. I'm gonna have it get real loud towards the end of this clip. And since this is, it kind of does that same speed ramp to slow motion situation, so I'm gonna have it and just come down. So let me grab a downer again here. I might go with that same one that we used earlier. Just feels right. It's a good one. When you find a sound you like, hold on to it. Obviously got to put it in the right spot. Oh yeah.
Burning down.
Oh yeah. Then we have kind of reverse where we kind of feel it come out of that slow motion, that speed ramp, and then it goes back up. But I'm getting ahead of myself because we haven't finished over here. Crowd noise layered in here. It's feeling a little fake. And I think a little bit more crowd noise will help. Let's try this. Let's try this one again. Just toss it in. And I'm also gonna do the same thing on the transition to slow motion. I'm gonna make this one slower again. I don't know what just happened there. So let's go pull this down to 85 again and have it last. I'm gonna give this sound a little boost because it's a little quiet. Speeds back up, so I'm gonna come in here again and bring this back up to normal speed. And I'm gonna use that little smooth transition between all the clips. I want just a little bit of horse running here. I'm just gonna go to the beginning and grab some of that horse sound. I feel like that was the best one by far. Oh yeah, that's working. I'm gonna have it start before the clip itself actually comes in with a little J cut, helps with the transition between clips. I'm gonna have that build though. Let's have that build. And in this clip, we're getting closer to the horse, so I want the sound of the horse to get a little bit louder. So I'm gonna pull this up. Since this isn't very long, I'm gonna grab another one of those guys, another one of those horse galloping clips. Oop, don't want to delete it. Just want to copy it over. Bring her in here. And I'm going to slow it down. Give it some real good. Oh yeah, I'm going to copy this over a couple times. It's a little too fast, so I'm gonna slow it down even more. I'm gonna bring it down to like a 70. And then I'm gonna bring another one here. That gets faster again. And I'm gonna do a little smooth constant gain on all of these. Let's check it out. I feel like I lost the sound of the horse. I'm gonna do a little trickery here. I'm gonna come into I'm gonna do a parametric equalizer on this clip. I'm gonna come to effect controls, and I'm just gonna take up the bass. Call me crazy, but I'm gonna take up the bass on this effect. That feels better. But of course I need to get rid of the end of the crowd noise here. I'm actually gonna have it peak on the transition and cut, like I've been doing. Nice. here's what we got towards the end here. I still feel like these like hoof footsteps are just like a little too fast still for what our clip's looking like. Let's try 60%. Calling me crazy, but at least you're calling me. Let's see. That feels better. Then it has a proper pickup in speed. I feel like I need a little bit of that. I'm gonna grab that wind riser again. Where is she? Somewhere near. Here she is. Just loving this sound effect. I think this is my 4th time using it. I feel like I'm using too quiet of a section of it though. So I'm gonna come in here. It's gonna do some damage once it's in place. Since her head is so close, it feels a little dangerous, and it's in slow motion. I feel like there needs to be like this low, like really deep sub-droning noise that carries through this clip. Low hum, maybe? It's kind of good. Let's try this. Let's see what we got. Drop it under our timeline. Let's start it. And have it kind of vanish as she's picking back up in speed. Oh yeah, that's filling my ears. Nice. I might just give it one little whoosh at the end here, and we'll check back and watch the whole thing and see where we're at. Ooh, I like these. Let's throw those in there. Nope, too late. Can't even hear it, but it's probably in there doing something, so I'm gonna leave it. Let's try this one. A little higher frequency. Nice. Let's watch the whole thing, see where we're at, see if we need to add anything, or see if we're pretty much in generally a good spot and we can toss in our dialogue and see how everything's flowing together.
It's burning down.
I think that's good. I think that's in a really good spot. Let's see how it's mixing together with the audio. Again, haven't mixed levels or anything, so some of the audio might sound a little cloudy, but let's try it with the audio.
It's burning down.
Trick riding is one of the most dangerous sports in horseback riding there is. You are doing like with the seemingly impossible off your horse. I'm hanging underneath them, I'm by their feet, like one wrong move and it could be game over. A little scary, but I think it's cool.
Ladies and gents, I think we have it. I'm just gonna do a quick little
It's burning down.
mix of
Trick
it.
riding is
This video is not about sound mixing. Sound mixing and sound designing are totally different topics. But just need to do a little bit of finessing to make sure that the dialogue's standing out a little bit more and fitting into pockets where it should. So what I'm gonna do is just spend a little bit of time mixing sound levels where the dialogue's kicking in, sound effects are a little bit quieter or fit into the pocket a little bit better. And that's a long, tedious process, so I'm not gonna like sit here and have you watch that entire thing. But this is what it sounds like at the end with the dialogue mixed in, and feeling like this is like good to go.
It's burning down.
Trick riding is one of the most dangerous sports in horseback riding there is. You are doing like with the seemingly impossible off your horse. I'm hanging underneath them, I'm by their feet, like one wrong move and it could be game over. A little scary, but I think it's cool.
So yeah, that's how I do my sound designing. That's my full process. You watch me do it from scratch. Sound designing is just a really fun thing if you allow yourself to have fun with it. Find yourself a library, a place where you feel like you can pull pretty much any sound effect that you can think of from. For me, that's gonna be MusicBed. It's comes with my subscription now for my music, which I'm really excited about. And it's the same level of highly curated sounds that you get on the music side. Yeah, got some new projects, some cool stuff coming on the YouTube channel, and I'm excited to share with you. So thanks for watching. You're best. Love you. Have fun sound designing.